The struggle between good and evil has been with us a long time. And it's not likely to be going away anytime soon.
But I'd like to think that if we remember the past and some of the truly evil things we failed to stop, then maybe the good in us has a decent chance to survive.
Almost everyone knows the story of Anne Frank, the young Jewish girl who perished during Hitler's Holocaust. She left a diary that inspired millions the world over.
Fewer people know about Emmett Till, a young black boy, just about the same age as Anne, who was tortured and lynched in Money, Mississippi. His brutal murder helped change the course of American history.
Imagine Anne
And Emmett
meeting in a place called memory.
What might they say to each other?
Would they have anything in common to share?
Or have any lessons for us?
What happens if we don't listen to their voices?
Are we doomed to simply repeat the past?
What if we don't even remember them?
Lord, good Lord, I don't know why I ever agreed to let him go down there to Mississippi. I got a bad feeling about this.
Mama, you still packing?
Bro, come here for a minute.
Come on, Mama.
I said, come here, son. We need to talk.
Talk. Talk about what, Mama?
I want to make sure you understand what I said about how to behave down south.
Mama, you already told me.
Bo, listen. The rules are different for colored people down south. You can't go fooling around and acting all playful around white folks. They won't understand. They'll think you're being disrespectful or acting uppity. You need to understand, if you find yourself around white folks, stay quiet. If you see a white man coming down the street, you step off the sidewalk.
Mama, you already told me
If
this.
it looks like he's gonna pass you, step off the sidewalk. Don't look at him. Don't look him in the eye.
What if he speaks to me?
Well, you just say, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Bo, this is serious. You can't go fooling around like that. You can do that here in Chicago, but you do that down south can get you in real trouble.
I was just kidding, Mama. I won't do anything like that.
You are my baby, Bo. You're all I got in this whole world, but not everybody loves you like I do.
I'll be real good, I promise.
Now, if you encounter a white woman, don't look at her, don't say anything to her. If it looks like she's gonna pass you on the
I know. Look down.
No, Bo, you don't just look down. You cross the street.
Okay, I got it. Can I go now?
Hold your horses, he'll be out in a minute. I want to make sure you understand the rules.
I know all the rules, Mama.
I said he'll be out in a minute. How many times you gonna honk that horn? I love you. More than words can say. Now, you promise your mama you'll do what I tell you?
Yes, Mama. I'll be a good boy.
I
Don't worry about it.
know you're a good boy. It's just that...
Don't worry, Mama. I won't be gone long. The summer will be over before you know it. I'll be with my cousins, and Uncle Mose will take good care of me. I gotta go now.
Wait a minute, Bo, wait a minute.
What?
I want to give you something. I was saving this for your 21st birthday when you become a man, but I want to give it to you now. Bring you some good luck.
Wow. My father's ring. I can wear it. Thank you, Mama. I can't wait to show it to everyone. It's gonna be my lucky charm. You'll see. One day, I'm gonna do something big, something important. I'm gonna be somebody.
You're already somebody, Bo. Now, give your mama a big hug. Oh, take these sandwiches and water, because they won't be giving Negroes anything to eat on the train.
Okay. I gotta go, Mama.
Oh, hey.
Mama, you see my hat anywhere?
You mean this whole thing?
No, it's my favorite.
Uh-huh. You little devil. Okay, here it is. You'll need it to keep the sun off of that pretty face of yours. Stay out of the sun, all right?
Okay. I love you, Mama.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
I love you too, Bo. Remember now, be good. Oh, I hope he'll be good. It's just that he's a boy, and well, now I want him to see his uncle and cousins, but why can't they come up here to visit? I hope I didn't spoil it for him by telling him what he can't do or how to act, but I couldn't just let him go without telling him the truth about the way they treat colored people. If anything were to happen to him, I'd never forgive myself.
So, how is my sweet little girl doing today?
Fine, Papa.
Your writing is going well?
Yes, Papa.
It is good that you have extra paper.
I misspelled a word, and I want it to be perfect.
Have you looked outside? It's getting dark. I think it is going to rain again today. But tomorrow the sun is going
Papa,
to...
since when do you want to talk with me about the weather? It doesn't matter if it's cloudy or sunny. If it rains or shines, it doesn't change anything in here.
I was just trying to
Why don't you
pass-
say what you're really thinking? Mother sent you up here, didn't she?
Oh, Annalise, so you see through me again. Hmm? Sometimes I think you are too smart.
Too smart. Isn't that what you've always wanted me to be?
You know what I mean when I say too.
So, I should just remain smart.
I take it things did not go well today with your mother?
You know the answer, Papa. It never goes well with Mother. She's always criticizing me. I never do anything that pleases her. Margot can do no wrong. Margot's her favorite. Papa, am I your favorite? Tell me I'm your favorite and you love me more. Please, Papa?
I love you both, Anne, equally. Just as your mother does. She likes you and she loves you. You misunderstand her. You are too hard on her.
She couldn't be more like you, Papa. You understand me. I know you love me, really love me, just the way I am. Papa, how much longer do we have to live like this? Trapped in this box and with all these other people?
These other people are our friends, Anne. They are at risk of being arrested just as we are and sent off to those horrible camps we keep hearing
We are
about.
living in a coffin. I can't stand it much longer, Papa. I need to go out, be with my friends, ride my bicycle, be free, if only for an hour or two.
Anne, you know the rules. That's impossible. We can never go outside or be seen. Not until the Nazis are defeated. We can't break the rules.
Yes, the
There is-
rules. Always the rules. No laughing, no joking, no talking, no fighting, no joy whatsoever. This is not living.
No, it is not living, but we are still alive. That is what you have to keep remembering, Anne. We are still alive.
But Papa, how much longer do we have to wait?
Not much longer. The British and the Americans will come. I'm sure of it. We continue to get reports. Soon, they will come for us. We just have to be a little more patient.
But I want to be a writer, Papa. A famous one. Yes, I write all my private thoughts in the diary you gave me, but I want so much more. I want to write novels, poems, and plays, and I can't do all that cramped up in here. I need to be free.
I know, Anne. I know how talented you are. One day, you'll be free, and you will touch the sky with your pen. People the world over will read you. But right now, it is too dangerous for any of us to be seen or heard. You're my precious little angel, and I will always protect you. I'll never let them harm you.
You promise?
I promise. And one day, you will see. All of your dreams will come true. Promise. I don't know how much longer we can hide. The Gestapo are getting closer to us all the time. I know what they'll do if they find us. I served as an officer in the German army once. A lot of good that will do me, huh? Get me a medal on my way to the gas chamber. If the Americans don't come soon, then I'll speak the truth. Hope is the only thing we have left.
From me. Go away.
No, I live here. You're the one who has to go. You don't belong here. You scared me.
Oh, I see. I scared you because I'm black.
Your color has nothing to do with it. I'm always here alone, by myself. You startled me the way you came charging in here. For a moment, I thought you were the Dutch police coming for me.
Do I look like a Dutchman to you?
No. No, you don't. But why are you so hostile? I don't even know you.
You don't have to know me. That's the problem.
What problem?
You're a white girl. And in Money, Mississippi, that means you can hurt me without saying a word.
Wait a minute, who said anything about hurting you or being in... You're here, in memory.
Where?
Memory. It's not really a place, not one you could point to like on a map.
Is it heaven?
No, it's not heaven, it's just memory. It's a magical place where you can look into the past, be in the present, and know everything that's happened since.
There's no time here.
No, only truth. And truth is, well, timeless.
I don't understand why I'm here. And how do I get out?
It's the same way you got in.
I don't get it.
Someone must have thought of you. Cogito ergo sum.
What are you talking about?
It's Latin.
Showing off.
No, it just popped into my head. A great philosopher once said, I think, therefore I am.
So I don't think, and therefore I'm not.
No, stop being so...
Difficult.
What I meant was that we're all here together, in the darkness and alone at the same time, until we're pulled into the light, until we're remembered.
By who?
By whom?
Okay, have it your way. By whom?
I don't know. It could be anyone, but something happened to cause someone to think about you, to remember you, and therefore you are. You exist. Well, as long as they keep thinking about you, remembering you.
What happens when they stop? Do I get to leave here?
You'll disappear. Just like chalk being erased from a blackboard. As if you never lived at all.
I don't get to choose whether I stay or go.
Not any more than I do.
How will I know when they'll let me leave here?
First, the lights start to flicker, then dim, then it's back to the darkness.
How come you know so much about this place?
Maybe because I've been here longer. Been remembered by a lot more people.
You said you had no choice, either about staying or leaving. Do you want to stay here?
Yes, I want to stay here as long as possible. I want people to remember me, forever.
I still don't understand why anyone would think of us here, together. I mean, it's hard to imagine.
Imagine! That's it! Someone must have thought of us together, and that we were connected in some way.
Come on. You're a white girl. I'm a black boy. What do we have in common?
I don't know, maybe someone thought we had to talk about our lives, how we got here, and why. Maybe because of what happened to us when we were so young. There's a reason. All All I know is we probably don't have that much time together. Memory fades. It doesn't last very long.
You said it was timeless here.
Well, I said the truth was timeless, not memory. So, why don't we start over? My name's Anne. Anne Frank. And you are?
Emmett. Emmett Till.
Why do you keep looking away? Are you afraid of me?
I'm not afraid of
Then
anybody.
why do you keep looking?
Rules. I'm not supposed to.
There are no rules here. You're totally free. I think you're just shy around girls.
I have plenty of girlfriends.
Oh, you're too young.
I have a picture of one. See?
That's not your girlfriend. That's a movie star. She's Hetty Lamar. I know all of the stars.
I have others. Real
Oh,
ones.
sure you do. Oh. Hey, stop! Don't touch those. They're personal. You have no right to read.
Hey, don't mean nothing to me. I wasn't reading them. I don't care what's in them.
They're special to me. I was writing.
Looked real special on the floor.
But you came in and spoiled everything.
I didn't mean to crash in.
But I certainly didn't invite you here. You really shouldn't be here. You need to go.
Then be forgotten.
Sorry, I know it's not up to you to leave. I didn't mean.
To be mean.
No, it's just that there's this dream I've had. I've been trying to put it into words exactly as it happened, but every time I get close, it keeps eluding me, slipping away. I just about had it when you interrupted me.
What's so important about a dream? Can't you just have another one?
No, not like this one. It was so...
So, who's Kitty?
Hey, I thought you said you weren't reading them. Don't mean nothing to me.
I wasn't reading them. I just saw the name Kitty.
She's my best friend.
Where is she?
In my diary.
Huh?
Kitty was the one person who I used to tell all of my secrets to. The one person who wouldn't judge or criticize me or betray my thoughts or moods. I didn't have to pretend I was happy when I was miserable.
Was she a real person?
Real enough to me.
Why'd you call her Kitty?
After my beautiful cat, Mortza.
You had a cat named Mort.
Mortza?
Whatever happened to Mort? Your cat.
I don't know. We had to leave her behind once we were forced to hide from the Nazis. It's a long story.
That's okay. Just tell me as much as you can.
Well, I was born in Germany. It was a beautiful country, rolling hills, fields of flowers. We had a lovely home there. It was full of books and music. My father loved to read.
I wanted Dan and Margot to study all the great minds. I used to read to them in German, French, English.
Sounds like you had a pretty nice life.
Yes, it was wonderful. Until Hitler and the Nazis came to power. They turned every fun against us.
Us?
Those of us who were Jewish.
How come? What did you do?
Didn't do anything.
Then why did the Nazis turn the German people against you?
Because we were Jewish. Die Juden sind unser Unglück.
Die what?
It's German. It meant all our misfortunes are the fault of the Jews. It was written in all the posters, all the papers.
Misfortunes. I'd always heard that Jewish people were the chosen people. Never knew what it meant, but it sounded like something good, something special.
We were chosen, all right, for special persecution, special suffering. Made slaves in Egypt, burned at the stake during the Spanish Inquisition.
Then the Nazis decided that they had a final solution for us. The extermination of every Jew.
I don't understand. What made the Nazis hate you?
Why are people always asking us to explain the hatred of others? Why don't you go ask the Nazis?
I don't see any Nazis around. I was just asking.
You really don't know?
No.
They blamed us for everything. The economy, unemployment, social unrest. They even said that we were the reason they lost the First World War.
As far as I know, no one in Chicago ever blamed the Jewish people for anything, or wanted to hurt them. The Jewish people were friendly to us. They had stores in our neighborhood. Abe Melton, he owned a butcher shop my mama used to go to. He always double ground the hamburger meat for her. He was real nice to me, too. To me, Jewish people were just white people. Being Jewish means something else.
No, Phil, I mean, yes. Our religion is different. We have a different history, culture, tradition. But I think being Jewish is really all about morality. Living a moral life according to God's law as was written in the Torah.
No one right from wrong. Aren't all religions about it? You saying Jewish religion's more moral?
No, not more moral. Our religion, traditions aren't better, just different. When someone starts to think they're better or superior, that's when you get Hitler. He thought the Aryans were superior. It's a master race.
Sounds real familiar. In America, white people thought they were superior too, especially those living down south. And they treated us black folks, well, real bad. My mother was worried about me when I traveled down there. I had spirit, real spunk, you know, and I think it scared her.
Of course it scared me. You had no idea what white folks down south were capable of doing. You had never seen a black man or woman swinging from a tree, or never saw the night riders in their hoods run their horses up on your porch, threatening to set your house on fire or shoot a gun through your door. You had never seen the face of hate.
I think Hitler hated us because of our success. We excelled in everything. Medicine, music, science, art, business, law. And because we were successful, because we were different, and didn't want or need to be like any of the other Germans, they wanted to take away everything we had. Take all of us away.
Couldn't you stop being so different? Be just like the rest of the Germans.
Some did, but most of us couldn't. Or wouldn't. For my family, for me, the answer was no. We were Germans, but we were Jews first. We were Jews before we even believed in God. We couldn't just stop being Jewish any more than you could stop being black.
So your religion's like a race?
No, not exactly.
But you just
So I
said...
was trying to make a point. Never mind.
Okay. Well, if you couldn't change being Jewish, why didn't you just leave Germany?
Well, we did. We tried to go to America, but President Roosevelt refused us. Guess there were too many ahead of us who just wanted the same thing.
Couldn't you have gone somewhere else?
Yes, but most countries wouldn't let us in. There was a German ship, the MS St. Louis. It had more than 900 Jewish passengers on board, all trying to immigrate to Cuba.
What happened to them?
Well, the Cubans let just a few people get off the ship. The rest had nowhere else to go. They begged to land in America, but they were turned away because there was a law, a strict policy on admitting immigrants.
Where'd they go?
Back to Europe, where many ended up in what Hitler called his work camps. Then there was no escape. The Nazis said that the only way out was through the smokestacks.
An American president treated white people like that.
Yes, Emmett. It was shameful. Unspeakable. Everyone knew what the Nazis were doing. They just didn't care enough to stop them.
But our folks said that Roosevelt was a good man, especially after Hoover. Hard to believe he would turn those people away. But you got out.
Yes, to Holland.
Were you safe there?
At first, but the Nazis kept invading country after country in Europe. Holland, too. They started imposing restrictions on us, confined us to ghettos.
Oh, I know something about ghettos.
They made us cross the sidewalks whenever the Nazis approached us. We were forbidden to look them in the eye.
I know something about that too.
They made us wear patches on our clothes with the yellow Star of David on them.
Star of David.
It's the symbol of the Jewish people, like the cross for Christians. They made us wear them on the front and back of our clothes so they could see us coming and going.
We didn't have to wear any patches. Skin color was enough.
But we could go to the movies. We had to sit way up in the balcony.
Us too. They called it the crow's nest.
Then they imposed a curfew on us, so we couldn't even be on the streets at night.
There were places we couldn't go after dark either. They get sundowner rules for us. Don't be caught in town after sundown, boy. You hear me? I said, do you hear me, boy?
Oh, you hear me, kike?
Jigaboo.
Heed.
Darky.
Hiney.
Spook.
Hook nose.
Flat nose.
Dirty Jew.
Coon.
Mongrel.
Thug.
Christ killer.
Nigger.
Nigger.
Stop! You can't say that!
I didn't mean any.
White folks came up with all those names for us. But that was the one that hurt the most. We used to be called Negroes. Another word for black. Gets that sounded a little too respectable. Too civilized. But nigger, well, it was like a thing. An animal. A monkey. It's pretty much how they thought of us. Nigger was the last name black people heard when they were being lynched.
Now that I know what it means, I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
It's just that words have power. They create images, and images can hurt. The Nazis had all those names for us too. They made horrible, grotesque drawings of us. Said we were subhuman. Said we were devils. Even had horns growing out of our heads.
They gave us horns and tails.
They put up cruel posters and pictures everywhere in Europe. And that was just the beginning. Then they started rounding us up, sending us to their camps on their trains. That's when we knew we had to hide. We had to move from our home in Holland into the attic of an office building. We hid there for 2 years in a place we called the Secret Annex.
For 2 years? What was that like?
It was horrible.
You couldn't go out at all.
No, not ever. I missed the fresh air, riding my bicycle with the wind in my hair, the sunshine on my face. During the day, I could look out one window at the very top of the annex, the one where no one could see in, and see that beautiful chestnut tree outside. It was so full of life and free. Being free, that was the most important thing for me. Sometimes, at night, Peter and I would open the window and just stare at the stars. Oh.
I liked looking at the stars too. Pick out the Big Dipper, Little Dipper, Orion's Belt. Wait, you said Peter. You had a brother.
Oh, he wasn't my brother. Just the son of the family who was hiding with us. We were just
Friends. Mm-hmm. All that time in the attic.
annex, not attic. Besides, it's none of your business.
I just...
Just what? You were implying that we had...
No, I thought...
I don't like the way you think.
Well, I don't... Ugh. Frankly, I don't...
You shouldn't talk to me that way.
Look, let's just drop it. It's not worth talking about. Especially since you were the one who said we don't have much time here.
I'm sorry, it's just...
What?
Never mind. To answer your question, Peter had a crush on me. He didn't do anything. Father said that I had the responsibility to pull back from Peter. Find me. Wasn't it just as much or more for Peter to stop? Always the double standard for me, as if I was the one who caused all the trouble. Anyway, it was just as well. Peter really wasn't the boy for me. He was too boring and unambitious. He was just, well, there.
Look, I really wasn't trying to be nosy about Peter. I just find it hard to understand being stuck anywhere for 2 years.
It was more like a lifetime. You have no idea what it's like to live with 8 scared people all crammed into a small place. There was no privacy. Oh, we couldn't move around, make any noises, or do anything that might let the Nazis know we were there. When someone got sick, we couldn't just call a doctor. It was maddening, like living in a tomb.
Sounds scary.
We were terrified. Terrified that the Nazis, the Dutch police might hear our voices, little fights and jealousies. People, even family, especially family, can be so petty and selfish at times, so... Except my father. Papa was my favorite person in the whole world. I miss him most of all.
What about your mother? Don't you miss her?
I do. It's just, I really didn't like her. There were times when I even hated her.
Hated her? My mother? She was my best friend. You hated your mother.
She was always criticizing me. My older sister, Margot, was her favorite. Margot could do no wrong. But I was the one Mother always picked on. I could never do anything right. I could never be the person I really was. Papa was the only one who understood me. He tried to hold it all together, but it was hard. We were always in each other's way, each other's moods. Honestly, it was so exasperating. The others didn't like it when I talked or when I said nothing. If I was tired, they said I was lazy. Oh, I could never be smart, just cunning or clever.
Well, if you...
When I was serious, they thought I was joking. When I was joking, they thought I was serious. Everything I did seemed to antagonize them. They even called me a chatterbox.
No kidding.
There were times when I wish I had been born with a different personality.
Then you wouldn't have been you.
Yes, but
I liked being me. Liked telling jokes all the time. Trying to make people laugh. Everyone thought I was pretty funny. Maybe that's an advantage of being an only child.
and the advantage of not being stuck in an attic.
You mean annex?
Touché.
Touché?
It's French. It means you got me. Now I guess I am showing off.
You don't have to impress me.
It was all so depressing. I used to find a place where I could be alone and write just so I could talk to.
Morzo. Kitty.
Exactly. I still miss her. And I'm still mad.
How come?
They let Peter keep his cat in the annex. It was used to catch the rats. It kept urinating everywhere. Do you know what cat urine smells like?
No.
It smells like fear. The smell of fear was in our clothes, our hair, our hands. It was everywhere. In everything. We couldn't just wash it away. Then the plumbing stopped. We were trapped.
I never had to live cooped up like that.
Being cooped up was better than being captured. We knew what they were doing to our people. Sending them off to concentration camps in railroad cars, packed in like cattle. When they arrived at the camps, they would separate everyone, mother from child, husband from wife, weak from strong, old from young. They counted and numbered everything. Clothes, shoes, jewelry. People. Especially people. They tattooed their arms with numbers. Stripped them of anything they had left. Anything of value. They pulled off all their wedding pants and carted them away in wheelbarrows.
Even took the gold out of the teeth of the dead.
Really? Took the gold from their teeth?
There wasn't anything they wouldn't do. One of the first things they did was cut off everyone's hair. Imagine cutting off all the hair of the women and girls and using it as mattress stuffing.
My mama, she always said that a woman's hair was her crown and glory. They used it for...
Mattress stuffing. They claimed it was for health reasons. Get rid of lice and things. It wasn't health. It was humiliation. Make everyone just another number. Then there were the experiments. At Auschwitz. Joseph Mengele. The angel of death. He put people in pressure chambers to measure their tolerance for pain. He took pen children and he drew blood from them until they died.
Annalise.
I had no idea all that was going on. What the Nazis were doing to their people. When I was growing up, I got to watch all those movies about the war in Europe. American and British planes dropping bombs on German cities and soldiers. I remember watching the films of Jesse Owens, beating the Germans' butt at the 36 Olympics. Man, can he run. People said Hitler got so mad he left the stadium. Wouldn't even shake Jesse's hand.
We had Gretel Berkman, a high jumper. I swear she could jump to the moon. Hitler wouldn't let her compete just because she was Jewish.
Guess they both showed Hitler something about his old master race. You know, Anne, maybe there's a reason for us to be here together. Maybe we have a whole lot in common. A lot more than anyone ever thought. I mean, the Nazis packed and shipped you off in trains.
Well, white people came over to Africa, packed us up in slave ships, and shipped us off to America. And when we got here, they separated us, just like they did you. Mothers from children, husbands from wives. And we got robbed too. Robbed of our names, families, language, freedom, everything.
They sold us off on auction blocks, like cattle. They wanted our free labor, to slave and to work. Sometimes they tattooed and branded us, but like I said, color of our skin was brand enough. You talked about gold. My people were the gold, black gold. And just like the Nazis did to you, white folks did to us. Humiliated and dehumanized us. Said we were 3/5 human. There were limits on how many deer you could kill, and when you could kill them. And there was a fine to pay if you broke those rules. But man, down south, it was always open season on us. They say we shoot rabbits, but we hang our Negroes.
They could hang you?
Yeah, for any reason, any season. Hang and mutilate us in front of crowds, all dressed up in their Sunday best, as if they were at a picnic. Part of the entertainment for the day. They'd even bring their kids to teach them early that's the way to treat Negroes.
They wanted their children to see that.
They sure did. But just killing us wasn't enough for them. They set us on fire, cut off our fingers, one by one. Our ears, knuckles, other body parts. Took them as souvenirs. Even put them in jars in the grocery store windows like pickles. The Nazis used your hair for mattress stuffing. Well, those church-going white folks took pieces of our hair and taped them onto pictures of the lynchings and mailed them to their friends just to prove that they were there. You talked about experiments. For 40 years, our government used black people to test how diseases affected them when they went untreated.
Emmett, I thought we were the only people who had been treated like that. Why would they do this to you?
Different color skin, I guess.
Your skin? It's darker, different, but there has to be more to it than color. Come on, let's compare. What's wrong?
That's how I got into trouble.
There's no trouble here.
Maybe not, but what's wrong with your arm?
Nothing.
Anne, were you ever tattooed?
Let's talk about you, Emmett. I still don't understand why whites hated you.
So now you want me to explain why we were hated. Why don't
No,
you just...
I mean,
They didn't hate us in the beginning. They just wanted to use us. Make us do all the work for them for nothing. Later they feared us. Saw how strong we were. They felt weak. Inferior physically. So they had to hold us down. Down and back. Prevented us from learning to read and write. And then claimed we were just dumb when we couldn't read or write.
so they could keep you down, dominate you.
Exactly.
And the Nazis feared us too, but since they couldn't dominate us, they wanted to destroy us.
Destroy you. Dominate us.
You know, it's so absurd. I'm white and Jewish,
And I'm black and Christian.
but they came for both of us. It wasn't about religion or color, like you said. It was fear.
But why? Why do people have to fear and hate whatever and whoever is different?
Maybe it's just that people need to think they're better than someone else, and when they realize they're not.
You know, Anne, the more I think about it, this whole thing about fear is just an excuse for hate. I mean, if someone says they acted out of fear, they think that makes it more acceptable. But really, it's all about hate.
But I could never understand it. Everyone loved our music, our art, our dedication to science, medicine, law. We've given so much to the world. I always wondered. But the world realized without us. Albert Einstein, Mark Chagall, Emma Lazarus, George and Ira Gershwin, Justice Louis Brandeis, Vladimir Horowitz. I could count hundreds. Jonas Salk, the doctor who discovered the cure for polio.
Salk. Heard about him all right. Guess he came a little too late for me.
What do you mean late for you?
I had polio when I was 6 years old. It affected my speech somehow. Made me stutter.
Oh, I didn't know polio could cause stuttering. But you're okay now.
It usually happens when I'm nervous. But here in memory, everything seems to be okay. You know, Anne, I was just thinking about what you said. What Jewish people have given the world. What would America, the world for that matter, be like without our free labor, our music, art, science? Frederick Douglass, George Washington Carver, Dr. Charles Drew, W.E.B. Du Bois, Justice Thurgood Marshall, Duke Ellington. I mean, the Duke Ellington, Ida B. Wells Barney, Paul Robeson. It's really sick. America was built on our backs. But once we started to resist, demand equal rights, they said, if you Negroes don't like the way we do things around here, go back to Africa.
The Nazis felt the same way about us, Emmett, but they couldn't send us anywhere. We didn't have a place to go back to then.
You said then, but now.
Now we have our own country. A place that's ours, the land God promised us.
After all that's happened, you still believe in God.
Yes, it's important to have something to believe in. To have a religion. It doesn't matter what religion, Jewish, Christian. As long as you believe.
Did Hitler believe? Did he have a religion?
He was Catholic, but the only thing he practiced was Nazism.
But you still have faith.
I'm not naive. If that's what you're implying, I know the world's not full of jelly beans and cotton candy.
Careful now, Anne, when you talk about cotton.
Despair. That's the alternative, isn't it? But not for me. I still believe that mankind is basically good.
Basically good. Wars, famine, slaughter.
Sure, there's all of that. But there are people who perform 1,000 acts of kindness every day who...
Woo-wee! Must have missed some of those folks in Mississippi.
People are born good. When I look into a baby's eyes, I see innocence. Yes, goodness.
And what did you see in the eyes of the Nazis?
Hate, evil.
That's my point. There's just as much evil and hate as there is goodness. Maybe more. You know, Anne, there's something I never understood. I mean, I always praised God. I prayed to him. I promised to be good, and I was. Mostly. But when I needed him the most, he wasn't there for me.
I prayed too, but I think we may have been asking for too much. I mean, to think that God has to listen to hundreds of millions of us every moment.
But what's a God for if he doesn't listen or hear us when we really need him?
Well, I'm not sure if God is a he or she for that matter.
Oh, man.
I think God is a moral force, a power that creates, gives life.
And then what? Moves on to some other planet. We had landlords like that. Absentee landlords. Never made any repairs, just let things go.
It's complicated, Emmett. I don't have all the answers.
If God is all perfect, how come he created something so imperfect? How could he allow such evil
I
to...
don't know! Sometimes I wonder if evil is just some dark force floating around the universe, waiting to enter the human heart.
Evil needs
to
us...
feed off it and grow stronger with every act of cruelty.
Evil needs us to live.
Maybe it's we who need evil. So that we can know kindness, decency. Maybe we could never appreciate perfection if everything was already perfect.
Now that's heavy. Sounds like one of those philosophers you talk about. No day without night, no love without hate. So hate and murder is always going to be with us, or them.
No, they don't have to be out there hating. Not always. Not if they are willing to recognize the evil before it grows too strong. I still believe that the good people of the world will stop the hatred, the killing.
Oh, please.
There were times when I felt the same way, Emmett, but I realized that through our suffering, we came out stronger. It made us survivors. We held on to our faith, our tradition. That's how we survived over the centuries.
Our traditions were ripped away from us on those slave ships and auction blocks. You have no idea how slavery really messed with us. Divided us from one another, then against each other. Field slaves against house slaves, dark skin against light skin. It's all so...
But things got better for you, didn't they?
I don't know. Everything's dark after.
After what?
After what happened to me.
What happened? Tell me.
I don't like talking about
Don't
it.
you want to know? To see if things changed? Got better? Memory allows you to do that.
It's too hard.
Have to try. Try harder. What do you see? What do the people who think of you allow you to see?
There's a woman. She's sitting on a bus. She's thinking about me.
What is she thinking? Tell me what you hear.
Her name is Rosa. Rosa Parks. She's saying, I kept thinking of you, Emmett, and I just couldn't go back. I wasn't going to move. My feet weren't sore. I wasn't tired. I was going to stay there. For you, Emmett. For you. She won't give up her seat to a white man and go to the back of the bus. People are united. Marching. Boycotting. Calling my name. Calling my name. There's a preacher. Martin Luther King Jr. getting involved. He has a powerful voice and can really preach. Got people all fired up. People are marching in the streets, sitting at lunch counters. People are getting beaten up, bombed, attacked by dogs, fire hosed. Some people want to fight back, fire with fire. But Dr. King says they must remain nonviolent, no matter what those racists do. It's like a war. People fighting back, marching, calling my name. Emmett Till. Emmett Till.
Oh, what sorrow. Oh, what pity. Oh, what pain that tears and blood should mix like rain and terror come again to Mississippi.
It's a poem by Langston Hughes about me. They're calling my name. Emmett Till. Emmett Till. There's a rifle shot. Dr. King, they killed him.
Emmett, what's wrong? Emmett, where did you go? I can't see you. Emmett, come back. You've got to come back. Emmett, what happened? Where did you go? What are you thinking?
So many things. I'm thinking about my father. He was in Europe during the war. He died over there. The army sent his ring back to my mother. Nothing else. Nothing about how he died. Telegram just said, willful misconduct. Black folks fought against Hitler too, you know. Hollywood never made many movies about them. They helped defeat the Nazis too, but the US government ended up treating German prisoners of war better than us.
You're not serious.
Yes, I am. German prisoners could eat and drink in our officer clubs. But black officers were arrested and tossed into jail for demanding the same rights, even court-martialed. Baseball great Jackie Robinson was one of them. The fact that blacks could fight and die for America, but couldn't even wear their uniform down south in public, for fear of being beaten or lynched. Any white person, even a Nazi, was considered better than a nigger, even one fighting for America.
You're angry. I understand that. But anger only eats away inside. It doesn't change anything. Just remember, while you were trying to get into officer clubs, we were trying to stay out of the ovens.
You're right. Anger doesn't change anything. Just scares people whenever we let the rage out.
That's not what I meant. I don't understand why you can't see how
Wait.
things have gotten so much
Wait
better.
Holy moly. I never thought I'd ever see this. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
But, Emmett, what is it?
There's a black person in the White House. He's not a slave or a servant. He's the President of the United States.
You see? I told you memory would help. I told you that if you looked hard enough, you would see things. All right. Take a stick been made.
Whoa. One black man got to the top, so we don't have anything to worry about. We're all equal now. Racism is dead.
That's not what I said, and I don't believe that. Any more than if there were a Jewish president, anti-Semitism would be dead. All I'm saying is progress has been made. Why can't you accept that?
Real easy for you to talk about acceptance.
Meaning what?
Meaning things are easier for you.
Oh, things weren't so easy for me in Germany.
Maybe not. But in America, you have it made in the shade. All you'd have to do is change your name, change your hair, and you could pass. In America, your religion isn't as important as what color you are. The only thing that matters is if you're white. And in America, your people get to be white.
So you're comparing who suffered more.
No, I'm not saying that. We're both dead. I'm just saying that in America, color is a prison. We can never escape it. But if you're white, you're all right. And if you're black, get back.
I like your hat, Emmett. Do you always wear it?
I've always liked wearing my hat. I guess from the time I was 4 or 5. It made me feel older, like a man. I was always in a hurry to grow up. The future seemed so far off. I never thought it'd come so fast. I never thought I'd have to leave so soon.
You still haven't told me what's happened to you. You need to talk about it.
I told you, I don't like talking about it.
You have to. Tell me.
I was living in Chicago. It was the summer of 1955. I went to visit my uncle and cousins in Mississippi. They were living and working on a big plantation. My mama didn't want me to go.
Why not?
Said it was too dangerous for me. That I wasn't used to all the rules.
Oh, rules.
Just like the Nazis had rules for you, the white men had rules for us. About a year earlier, 9 white men on the Supreme Court wrote that black people were entitled to an equal education, just like whites had. I kind of looked forward to going to school with white kids, just to see how they were taught. That decision made a whole lot of white folks mad. My mother warned me to be careful when it came to white folks. Be sure to mind my manners. Not to look them in the eye. Be sure to call them sir and ma'am. Step off the sidewalk when a white person passed, especially a white woman. My cousins told me I had to be afraid. Shuffle and scrape. Looked like a happy meal, as if we were on a plantation serving massa. Well, in Chicago, we didn't have to do any of that. And I was going to show them that I was from the North, and I wasn't afraid of anything.
What? Emmett, what did you do?
I whistled.
That's it? You whistled?
Yeah. At a white woman.
Emmett, didn't you know
I was just playing around, showing off, and it cost me my life. I don't want to go there. It's too painful. I want to forget.
No, you can't forget. You have to tell what happened.
When I whistled at her, she just pointed a finger at me. My cousins scattered and ran for the car. They knew we were in trouble. They were so scared they didn't say a word all the way home. None of us could sleep that night. The next day, nothing happened. So we thought everything was okay. But a couple of nights later, some men came looking for me at my Uncle Moses' place. Said they were going to teach me a lesson. Some lesson. Took an axe to me. Gouged out one of my eyes and blinded me in the other. My eye sockets felt like red hot coals had been poured into them. I fell to my knees screaming. Everything was spinning around in my head. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't see them. Couldn't tell where they were going to hit me again, even though I was scared and hurt and I didn't back down. I kept swinging my arms, trying to fight back. Just made them mad. All the time I knew I was dying. Things flashed through my mind. No more pranks, playing baseball, jumping in swimming holes. No more sweet hugs from my mama. Finally, they tied a big cotton gin fin around me, shot me in the head, and threw me in the Tallahatchie River. Everything started going blank. The last thing I could hear was them laughing and my body splashing in the river. Funny, all the time they were beating and cutting me up, as scared as I was, I kept hoping no one would ever find my body. All I could think about was what would happen to my mama if she ever saw what they had done to me. I could bear dying easier than the thought of seeing her cry.
They found my son's body floating in the river a couple of days later. They were going to bury him in Mississippi. No notice, no ceremony, no witnesses. But I got a court order to have him brought back to me in Chicago. They had locked the casket and told the sheriff in Chicago that it was under Mississippi state seal and couldn't be opened. I was having none of that. I told the sheriff to give me a hammer. Nothing was going to stop me from seeing what they had done to my little boy. And the odor from the casket was so powerful. I could smell it a block away. And the stink was like, well, it was like the devil's own breath, but I didn't care. I wasn't going to pour perfume to cover the stench of their hate. I walked along the full length of the casket, from his feet all the way up to his face. Bo was beaten so bad that the only way I could tell it was him was because he was wearing his father's silver ring with his initials in it, LT, Louis Till. It broke my heart to see what they had done to my only child. And I knew that Bo wouldn't have wanted anybody, especially me, to see him looking like that. But I prayed all night long, and I just decided that I was going to tie the shame of his murder around the necks of the cowards who murdered my beautiful boy. At the funeral, I made sure that the casket was open, lit up. I wanted the world to see what they had done to him, what they do to us. And I was going to spend the rest of my life making sure of it. And Jet Magazine made sure of it. Put a photograph of how Bo looked in the magazine.
Emmett, it's horrible. I'm so sorry. Was anything done to those men for what they did to you?
Nothing. Nothing happened. Word was the photograph went worldwide. Even made news in the German newspaper. Headline read, "In America, a Negro's life isn't worth a whistle."
But all you got was news. Nothing else, no justice?
Black men get justice in Mississippi. In America, they held a phony trial. It took just about an hour. Enough time for lunch. And the all-white jury came back and acquitted the men who murdered him. I'm real proud of my Uncle Mose, though. He stood up in that all-white Southern court and pointed out those crackers who murdered him. Took real courage for him to do that. He left town right afterwards. He knew they'd kill him if he stayed around.
After the trial, the murderers gave an interview to Look magazine.
Well, what else could we do? I never heard a nigger in my life. I like niggers in their place.
I know how to work, but I decided it was time a few people got put on notice.
And as long as I live and can have anything to do with it.
Niggers are gonna stay in their place. Niggers ain't gonna vote where I live. If they did, they control the
They
government.
ain't gonna go to school with my kids.
And when a nigger comes close to mentioning sex with a white woman, he's tired of living. And I'm likely to kill him.
I just made up my mind. Chicago boy, I said, I'm tired of sending your kind down here to stir up trouble.
God damn you!
I'm gonna make an example out of it. Just so everyone can see how me and my folks stand. They got paid $4,000 for that interview.
And laughed how they got away with what they did
To me.
to my boy.
In America, you can confess to murder and still go free?
If you're white, you bet.
Emmett, maybe you should have listened to your mother and your cousins. I mean, you could still be alive today
If I'd what? Lived by the white man's rules. Jumping off sidewalks to let white folks pass. Licking their boots along the way.
But you knew your life was worth more than a whistle.
You don't get it. It wasn't about the whistle. It was about hate. They hated me just for being black. They were looking for any reason to beat me, kill me.
But you knew what they would do if they caught you.
So I should have stayed silent. Your silence didn't save you.
Now you don't get it. It was different for us. It is unfair for you to try and judge us. How dare you? You weren't there. You couldn't see what it was like.
But you judged me.
I wasn't judging you.
But you must have known what would
Of course
happen.
we knew. We weren't stupid. Yes, we were afraid. But we didn't just run out into the streets, throw up our hands and surrender. Some had the chance to escape, to survive in the woods, but those of us in the city were trapped. We had no way out. So we held on to hope and dreams. Dreams. Emmett, I got it. I got it.
What?
It's that dream I was trying to remember when you first came here. I dreamt that a beautiful bird had somehow slipped into our annex and had become trapped there. It kept crashing into the walls, falling to the floor, breaking its wings. But it wouldn't give up, trying to fly free. There were other times when I just closed my eyes and imagined dark, murderous clouds all around us, but just above my head was a patch of blue sky. It was the only thing that gave me hope. Hope that the war would end and we'd all be safe. Free of the fear that filled every minute of our lives. I remember the day they came for us. Someone told them where we were hiding. we heard those awful sirens in the distance. They grew louder and closer, and we knew we were in trouble. We heard shouting on the streets, sound of footsteps on the stairs, then tapping on the walls as they tried to find the hidden door to our annex. Everyone was afraid to breathe, afraid they'd hear our slightest whimper. I held my breath until I was sure I was turning blue. The tapping turned to thumping, the thumping to pounding, the sound of footsteps on the stairs, suddenly a loud bang, and they were in. The Dutch police. They were hostile, smug, like hunters get when they've captured their prey. Mother nearly fainted. Margot went blank. Everything seemed to be suspended, like a bad dream. I simply started to breathe again. The hiding was over. In a way, it was a relief. We had gone from being hidden to helpless, to captured, to... I still find it hard to think about how the Nazis treated everyone. First at Westerbork, then Auschwitz, then Bergen-Belsen. Old faces, scared faces, puzzled faces. Somehow, Margot and I were herded into the same group. Mother into another. And Papa? Where did they take him? Auschwitz, I think. But I never saw him again.
I've asked myself 1,000 times, why didn't I try to leave Europe sooner? I heard the echo of goose steps on the cobblestones. I knew what that sound meant. We Jews have heard the sound of hate coming so many times before. And I thought maybe this time was different. That there were places we could go, places that were safe. How was I to know that France, Holland, all the others would fall so quickly, that America would not care or come soon enough? I knew that Hitler was a madman and that nothing straight could ever come from crooked wood. But who knew how much evil was carved into the twisted cross of the Nazis? Who knew? Who knew?
It was all so surreal.
The summer heat cooled to autumn. The air became colder.
Winter was so bitter.
We were hungry all the time. Sometimes we had to fight like animals for a scrap of food.
Margot grew weaker,
Quieter.
more distant.
We were starving, all of us.
I was in denial she was starving to death. I became the older sister. I gave her my food. I was so determined to keep her alive. She was my only link to all that had been so beautiful in the past. She kept growing weaker, but the guards just kept giving us more work.
We could see the Nazi soldiers smoking, laughing, joking, treating us like vermin, not human. Performing all kinds of cruel experiments, torture, executions, gassings, and I'll never forget the smell of smoke, of burning souls.
When Margot died, they threw her body in a mass grave. I felt myself giving up. The only thing I had left was hope. And it was fading.
Everyone had typhus, nauseas, scratchings, pain.
I still held on to hope. I kept thinking of my father, of how much I loved him, how I used to write in my diary. I grew delirious. I knew I was dying, slipping away. Then I heard a tapping sound that soon became loud thumping. Was it the Dutch police coming for me again, or just the last beats of my heart? The thumping turned to a flapping noise. The lights turned white, and suddenly I could see it was that beautiful bird I had dreamt about. I wanted to set it free, to fly with it into the blue skies. The Papa's little
See
girl
my
again,
little girl
riding
riding
my
her bicycle, studying her lessons.
The flapping sound grew weaker, softer than nothing.
Nothing. Nothing. Nothing. God! Where were you? My Anne, my Marco, my Edith, my dear family, and those millions of others. Could you not hear their screams? Was they not loud enough for your ears? Could you not see our suffering? The cruelty we had to endure. Oh, perhaps you could not see it because you were too far away, or because you have no eyes. Answer me. Maybe you are angry with us. Tell me, what did the innocent do? The children, the babies that were burned alive, thrown into the ovens of Auschwitz, did they displease you? How were they unworthy of your love? Or did you let them die as a sign of your love? Is this how we court loves? Answer me! Can your silence? Maybe you can only hear me if I recite your prayer. Yitgadal, Vidgadash, Shme, Rabba, Bialma, Divarach, Hirute, Vyamlich, Malchute, Buchayokol, Uvyomekol, the Kolbet Israel. Yahweh, Shemei, Bagalau Visman Kariv, Veimru, Amen. Yahweh, Shemei, Rabbah, Mevorach, Leolam, Ulalme, Almaya. Still nothing. Still you are silent. God, this is your answer. Silence. I know you will not forgive my blasphemy, but I will not forget your silence.
And I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have spoken to you that way.
No, you don't have to apologize. That's why we vowed never to allow anyone to try and destroy us. Why we say remember. Never again. To remind people the world over what we had to endure. Now, it's a crime in some parts of Europe to promote anti-Semitism or say that the Holocaust never happened. You can go to jail Just for saying that.
You mean haters are prosecuted in Europe,
Exactly.
but they're protected in America?
Say can't be.
The Ku Klux Klan and skinheads can march down any main street, praising Hitler, and have a police escort in the process.
Seriously?
They can wrap themselves in the American flag while saluting Hitler's and burn crosses, knowing it's the symbol of white terrorism.
That's terrible. Not only can't the haters deny what they did to us, but companies that profited during the Holocaust have to pay restitutions to the survivors and their families. Make reparations.
Reparations. You get reparations.
Absolutely. Under the law.
Under the law, we don't get anything. Not a dime, not a penny. White folks said slavery happened too long ago. They don't know who should pay or how much.
They're wrong, Emmett. Time can't erase a crime against humanity. It is never too late for justice. Seems to me if scientists can figure out how long ago the Earth was created, they can figure out just how much is owed.
A few accountants would do. Those companies kept all sorts of records.
Emmett, remember how we did it.
And you tell everybody to remember. Everybody tells us to forget. Stop playing the victim. Stop dragging the past around like some dead body in the cemetery. Bury it. It's history. Black history, I guess. Not American history. We're always told to get over it. Just what's the it they want us to get
Emmett,
over?
I sympathize. I really do.
But
But at some point, you have to...
to what? Get over it. My mama used to quote the Bible all the time about the need for grace and forgiveness.
But you didn't listen to her.
Let's not argue about that again.
I'm not trying to argue. It's just, at some point, you have to let the anger go.
Let it go where?
It's just an expression.
Easy for you to say, let the anger go. The Europeans are trying to make up for what one man, Hitler, did to you. But who do we blame for 300 years of hate? Washington, Jefferson, Johnson, Jackson. It was everyone and no one. Like the police used to tell us, it all happened at the hands of persons unknown. I wish I could let go of the rage, Anne, but I can't. I can never go back to being that carefree boy I once was. I can't forget that night. Everything going dark.
The universe isn't dark enough to snuff out the light of a single candle. I don't remember who said that. But that's what I always try to do. In all the darkness, all the gloom, I light a candle inside. That is, I think of a candle flickering inside my mind. It makes me smile, have hope, believe that everything I've been through hasn't been a waste. You should try it, Emmett.
I
Light
can't.
a candle, just
Not
close
yet.
your eyes.
Maybe one day.
One day means never. You know that. Just try it. Emmett, you had such a peaceful expression on your face when you closed your eyes. What were you thinking when you lit your candle?
About my last birthday. I remember blowing out 14 candles on my birthday cake. I made a wish. Actually, two.
Oh, hey, that's cheating.
I know. I wish that one day I could become a professional comedian, like Abbott and Costello, or George Gobel. He was my favorite.
And the other wish?
Well, I couldn't make people laugh. I wanted to be a motorcycle policeman. I wanted to stop people from fighting, be a peacemaker.
I wanted so much to have a sweet 16th birthday party. Excited to open all of my beautifully wrapped presents. My family and friends there celebrating. I would light all the candles, then making a wish, just fun wish. Blow them all out.
What would you have wished for?
Oh, you can't tell people your wishes or they won't come true. Guess it doesn't really matter anymore. But I would have wished to become a great writer, a poet, playwright, maybe even a movie star.
Hey, that's cheating.
I know. Guess I would have cheated a little too. But I think most of all, what I wanted was to change the world. Make it a better place.
Looking back, if I lived, I know I would have done something big. I would have been somebody important. Maybe like Dr. King March for Justice. That's what I would have wanted. Justice for black people. Something we never had.
But that's why I devoted the rest of my life to giving meaning to your death, to inspiring people to change things. You changed the course of American history, Emmett.
And I did the same for you, Emmett. Of the 8 of us who were sent off to the camps, I was the only one to survive. When I discovered the pages to your diary had not been destroyed or lost, I had them published so the world would know what life was like for you, for us. I wanted everyone to see the truth.
Emmett, I was just thinking, your name, Emmett, is the Hebrew word for truth.
Really? True. Now how cool is that? And what about your name, Anne? What does it mean?
Well, in Hebrew, it means favored grace.
So you're grace and I'm truth. But do you think any of it really matters to anyone? I mean, after all we've been through, we're just a moment in someone's mind. All they have to do is think. That's it. They don't have to do anything else, take any action. We're stuck here between remembering history and repeating it.
Until they change. Until the memories of the horrors of the past becomes so strong, so deeply embedded in their souls that they say enough. No more. But memories fade quickly. I think it's happening already.
But if we exist because someone thought of us, why can't it work the other way around?
I'm not sure what you mean.
If people can imagine us here together, like you said, pull us from the dark into the light, why can't we write that same beam of light right back to them? Why can't we tell them while they're thinking of us that they have to do something? That they have to stop being silent witnesses to crime they know are happening, thinking they're safe.
Yes, that's brilliant, Emmett. Yes, we can tell the world that the haters are still out there and that the good people of the world aren't stepping up, aren't doing enough to stop them.
And the lights. I think we need to hurry.
Oh, tikkun olam.
More Hebrew.
Yes, it's from the Talmud. It means a moral obligation to repair the world.
That's what we can do. Join forces to repair the world.
And do you still want to leave memory?
No, I want to stay here. Just like you, Anne, I want to be remembered forever.
Okay, then let's go to the place where the memories are kept and tell the people of the world that they have to stop the hate.
And if they don't, we'll be having the same conversation over and over.
Just before 1 p.m., they were walking in the Holocaust museum with Marshall and was inspiring all the rifles. He was visibly walked in.
Who are you?
Who are you?
Matthew Shepard.
Who are you?
Trayvon Martin.
forget would not only be dangerous, but offensive.
To forget the dead would be akin to killing them a second time.